a guy that's got some experience. So how important is he this camp for the younger guys even?
He's extremely important. You know, Jordan's been important since he got on campus. Jordan was a young player who influenced the older guys. You know, we talked about that in the past. Now he's the old player, and so he's influencing the young guys. And he's kind of like, you know, the shepherd of the flock, and he's bringing everybody together. He and Cedric Dort have been here the longest, and they're pulling the weight that Devontae was going to pull with him. So he's done a great job. You know, he's out here performing. He's doing a lot better. He's kind of finding that niche now. It takes time. You know, it takes time. He didn't redshirt, so he found his niche. He's executing his assignments. You know, I'm excited about what he's going to do this year.
I was talking to him about, you know, everyone looks at the defensive lines because that's solid. The linebackers, they're pretty solid. But there's a lot of question marks in this secondary that people don't know. He said he kind of likes that as a challenge for his group and himself.
You know, every year is the questions in the secondary. You know, last year I didn't do many interviews, and you guys weren't sure how good we were going to be. Ended up being pretty good, you know. We just got to get these guys prepared, plain and simple. I can't go out there and play for them, but it's my job to get them prepared. So when they get on the field, it's like a practice. The practice was harder than the game, and they anticipate the issues. They can execute their assignment, and then we can do what we do best: go get the ball, make tackles, get our offense the ball, let them do what they're going to do.
What are you seeing Ced step up like as a leader? I mean, he's a young old head kind of, you know.
Oh yeah. That's a good way to put it. You know, he played as a freshman in redshirt, and he's playing now. So he's been around going on 3 years, but he is young. He hasn't played a lot, and but I have seen him because we've groomed him the entire time to understand when these guys leave next year, you're going to be a leader. You'll be the only corner with some experience. And so he's done a good job. Like I said, Jordan Griffith's done a good job. The guy we don't talk about much is Yusuf Coker. He's just a hard worker. And doesn't say much. He does his job. He leads by example. He's really improved vocally and with his confidence on the field. And so I think he'll continue to give us something. And then we got a couple other guys we're moving around, and we'll see if they bring leadership as well. In the secondary, you need leadership for the defense. And like you said, up front, we're really good, and the linebackers are good, and we got some questions that we got to fill in the secondary, and we got to go out and prove it every day.
I would assume that every secondary group is a little bit different. I know the last couple of years everyone wanted to talk about the length of the corners specifically and things like that. So what is this particular group, besides not a lot of depth, but what are the positives that people are looking at and saying, hey, this group could be really good at this?
Well, I think time will tell. But I think right now what I have noticed from them, they put in work. You know, they come in and they work, they study, they're paying attention in the meeting room, they're taking notes. They're making less mental mistakes than I anticipated. Some of the guys that moved to other positions didn't have much experience. They're making the mistakes, but it's improving every day. And we just want to see these guys go make plays. At the end of the day, I told them, Mark, when we scrimmage and we keep moving forward, you know, I'm a DB coach, but I want to see if we're going to tackle. You know, we need to stay on top of the routes. We need to make sure we go and contest every pass, have great eye control, and anticipate the issues. But we need to see at the end of the day, can we leverage the ball? We're long. We got some long guys. We're not as stout as the guys in the past. And I want to make sure that we're going to come up, get those guys down on the ground so we can get off the field.
Sounds like Mosley came up with a big play for you today.
Yeah, which one? I mean, he did a pretty good job. He had a couple plays. You know, everybody, you know, had their ups and downs. You know, with the interception you talk about over there, yeah, he did a really good job, good coverage. You know, he had good eye control, and he read his keys, and he made the play. And that's a good testament for him. You know, we can go in and show him, okay, you did what we asked you to do now. Now, see, be comfortable with it. Let it come. Let it continue to happen. Now he has to be more consistent.
Is that consistency and just getting up to the speed for he and Brandon kind of the biggest things you think?
No, Brandon is fast. Brandon, the game's coming a little bit in a different pace for Brandon because he's playing corner. Quandre just moved to safety, so now you got to know all the checks, all the little intricate parts you hear Coach Stoops talk about all the time, all the nuances, and we got to, you know, I'm not a big broad stroke guy. We want to pay attention to the little details from the stance that you have, not tipping the coverage, to your alignment. Be on point. Don't, if I say be 10 yards deep, 2 yards inside the hash, be exactly there. Don't be 2.5. 2 yards is the reason why we do that. We want to make some, you know, plays over the years of our experience, those things that work. So we want them to continue to be detail-oriented.
No, Devontae was one of those big tacklers. You brought up tacklers. Who do you is there a guy you can see kind of being that guy, or do you think it'd be more kind of evenly?
I'm going to find out Saturday. I know Yusuf's a pretty good solid tackler. Quandre in the spring game made some tackles that kind of surprises that we like to see. That was good. And on the perimeter, I want to see. I know Jamar, he's got a big physical presence. He'll hit you. I want to make sure those guys are going to get the players down. That's the big thing.